Namaste and welcome. It is Rishi here from meditatewithrishi.com, and today I want to share a very cool story with you. It's a story about the Buddha that I heard from one of my teachers actually in India, and the purpose of this is I'm really hoping this story motivates you to find the perfect balance in your life so you can be happy. That's the point, okay? So the story is about the Buddha when he was on his journey to find the truth, right? So obviously he used to be a prince, and when he got on this journey to find the truth, how do we get free from suffering, right? How do we liberate ourselves? He went to many different teachers, he did many different practices, and it was getting to a point where his seeking was at its peak. And it said that he had taken, these extreme austere measures. He said he was going to sit in the forest for, days and weeks on end without eating, just sit there in one posture until the truth is revealed to him. And what happened is it was very extreme, right? So he hadn't eaten. Days became weeks. It said he went over 3 weeks without eating any food and just sitting there. And you can imagine, right? He, like any human being, he was on the verge of death, not having eaten for that long. The practice was very extreme, very austere. So just at that time, there happened to be a music teacher and his student walking in the forest, and the Buddha overhears the student is learning the sitar, the Indian musical instrument, and the Buddha hears the teacher tell the student that if the strings of the sitar are too tight, then good music will not be produced, and at the same time the strings are too loose, then also good music will not be produced, okay? So these strings need to be in perfect harmony for harmonious music to come out. Not too tight, not too loose, essentially. And at that time, something clicked in the Buddha's mind. Something clicked that, this is a perfect metaphor for me, right? My practice right now it's too tight, it is too austere. And this is why I'm not even being able to think straight. I'm on the verge of death because I've not eaten, right? So when this clicked in his mind, this was when he, one of his first teachings was documented. The teaching of the middle path, Madhyam Marg, the middle path, okay? And by the way, side note, this is a perfect example of when the student is ready, the teacher appears, right? He didn't go looking for that music teacher, but because he was so dedicated to his practice, the lesson he needed at the right time came to him at that time, right? Beautiful. So anyway, that's a side note. So this middle path, right, should be applied to everything. He realized that if I die because of my stubbornness, I will die not finding the truth. In order to find the truth, I need to have a healthy body. I need to have a healthy mind that can think and discriminate properly, right? To find the truth. So then he decided that everything I'm going to do in balance. I will eat, I will nourish my body, nourish my mind, and continue seeking in this way. So this middle path, it's very famous. He says, not too much, not too little, should be applied to everything. And it's not just the Buddha. All the greats have said this. Lord Krishna in the Gita has said that, the one who eats too much or too little cannot be a yogi. The one who sleeps too much or too little is not fit to be a yogi. So this path is all about balance, and it should be applied to everything, and it should be applied to just our life as well. Just think about it, right? Eating is one area where many of us don't have balance, right? So if we eat too much, then you feel lazy, you feel sluggish. If you eat too little, you're just thinking about food. You can't concentrate, your mind cannot function, right? Sleeping. If you sleep too much, we become lethargic. If we sleep too little, then you can't function. At the extreme, the mind starts to hallucinate, actually. Working, right? If you work too much, I mean, come on, you're getting the wrong idea about life, right? It's operating from greed, because you feel that the more you do, the more you'll get, and it becomes about grasping. You're grasping, right? And if you work too little, then you have too much free time to gossip, to become anxious because you're looking at the news, you're thinking about what the world is doing, right? So too much free time is not good either. Balance is what is required. Exercise. These days with exercise, this is happening a lot as well. If we over-exercise, we cause too much stress to the body, which we're not able to recover from. And too little, of course, is not good, right? You put on weight, you get sick. A lot of disease comes from that, right? So balance is where it's at. Like if we are, there's nothing wrong with having a six-pack, right? But if getting that six-pack is killing you, it's making a chaos out of your life, then is it really worth it? If we study the people that live over 100 years, live to 120, these people did not reach that age because they were doing vigorous exercise and they had a six-pack. No, it's because they maintained balance. They ate healthy. They did some exercise every single day. Slept well, right? These are the things. So it's really all about balance, essentially. So this is the reason, right, that the Buddha left the extreme austere practices and instead chose a path of balance, the middle path. So that is it. And I would really encourage you, to not make this a video that you just watch and then go to the next video, right? Instead, take some time and think about, what is an area of my life right now where I could do with a bit more balance, and how can I get it, right? How can I get it? There's always an answer. If we think, the answer will come, essentially. So that is it. I really hope you enjoyed the story. Thank you for listening. Namaste.